What's going on, YouTube? You know, I've really been watching a lot of financial videos lately, and I gotta say, this has kind of been chapping me a bit. I keep seeing all these financial channels and media outlets on YouTube talking about the stock market. The stock market and the economy, and they keep correlating the two. They are not related. Those days are over. They've been over for years. Old 45, he used to talk about, look what I've done. I've created the best stock market in history. Look at the economy. Totally unrelated. Let's rewind a few years when everything came to a screeching halt, right? People weren't going to work, the whole nine. The stock market, if you were invested in the right things, like I was fortunate enough to be, killed it. It crushed. I made so much friggin' money that year in the market, it wasn't even funny. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough invested by the time it took off, and then it was too late because it happened pretty quick to really strike it big, but I did pretty well. So I'm here. It drives me nuts. And a lot of people still haven't figured that out. The stock market, what drives the stock market these days? Okay, news for one. A tweet from a famous person can drive the markets up or down for certain things. It's ridiculous. What else? The Fed, people forecasting what the Fed might do. Now that kind of makes more sense to me. But I'm one of those people that likes to wait and see what happens before I react. Markets are just so strange these days. It's a very odd time. Money, currency, cash being pumped into markets definitely affects how they react. It definitely skews the numbers. You put enough money into a stock, and it's gonna do well. It's gonna make things look like it's better than it is. The news that they keep telling us about, the dollar's very strong. Well, how can the dollar be very strong when it takes so many of them to buy goods and services, more than it took before? Yeah, you got to read between the lines. It's a bunch of crap. Now, am I saying that I don't use the stock market and in an attempt to make a profit? No, I'm not, because I do. For me, personally, my end game is physical assets, right? I want to put money into the market. I want to look at financial patterns. I want to make the best decision I can make. By the way, not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. This is just what I'm doing, my opinion and my experience. But that's my end game. Land, metal, money. And I use the stock market as a vehicle to help me get there. 100%. I use the bond market for the same thing. But I'm well aware that they're rigged markets, that they're not a true indication of the economy. And I'm getting really tired of hearing that correlation made, because it just is so incorrect. For me, I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to try to follow market trends. I'm at a point now where I'm looking at things like, okay, auto sales aren't doing well. Real estate, a lot of people think it's going to continue on the downward, especially commercial. So where are those profits going? If those profits aren't in those markets, where have they gone? They've gone somewhere. So I'm trying to figure out what that is right now. And I'm trying to figure out that next pattern. But my end game is this. This stuff all came in today, actually. Got two of these 5-ounce Aztec bars. Super sweet. And I kind of wish I would have gotten more. Got a couple of the, what did I get? What are those? Are those the Morgan? I can't even see it. The Morgan 1-ounce bars. And, of course, the Asahis. Man, I love Asahi. I got a couple more packages on the way. As of today, They were ordered today. I got one coming from Bold, and I got one coming from Hero. This here all came from Monument. I really like Monument. I don't know if you've ever checked out Monument Metals, but my good buddy Savage kind of pushed me that direction, and they got good deals. Anyway, this for me is my end game, right? Physical assets. In my opinion, when currencies don't do well, at the end of the day, physical assets are king to me. This is just my opinion. So that's what I do. I try to, take the paper markets and and something else. I'm not gonna say who it was. He's a channel with like 36,000 subs, something like that. He doesn't like us stackers. He thinks it's a bad investment, and he does consider it an investment, and I agree. I'm investing in saving money. Okay, anything you do to better your life, expecting some kind of return, is an investment. Doesn't always have to be a financial return. So I agree with him on that. However, and a lot of stackers don't, and that's fine. It's not a traditional investment, but it is indeed a form of an investment. An investment in savings and insurance and a hedge, whatever you want to call it. But you're still investing in something. He tells his people that he has gold and silver in his portfolio now, but not in the physical sense. He says he's sold the physical, and he holds gold in the form and silver in the form of ETFs. That also burns me. You don't hold any metal. You essentially hold future contracts. You're holding an exchange traded fund based on what you think the price is going to do in the future. And when you cash that in, you get dollars. You don't get gold. You don't get silver. And the people in his comment section are eating that up, and it drives me mad. It's so important to understand markets and how they work. And I don't think there's a person on the planet, well, there probably is, but I don't think there's anyone out there that understands all the markets, all the different markets, because there are a lot of differences. There are a lot of different terms out there, but to have a basic understanding on how things work, what's tied to what, what drives certain things one way or the other, I think is important. I think we should all do our due diligence if we're going to make decisions. That's my 2 cents. Like, subscribe, comment. This channel's growing. I'm taking all y'all with me. I can't thank you enough. And what's that other thing? Oh, that's right. Keep stacking.